Money can buy you almost anything. It can't buy you immortality. That you have to earn. I'm gonna look you in the eyes, and I'm gonna tell you the future. It's an American story, and that's why Americans are gonna love it. People are gonna build you up. God, are they going to? Because when you're great and new, we love you. Man, we'll build you into something that doesn't even exist. You're gonna change the fucking world. But you know what? Once they've built you as high as they possibly can, they're gonna tear you back down. It's the most predictable pattern. We build you into something that doesn't exist, and that means you have to try to be that thing. All day, every day. That's how it works. And we do it again, and again, and again. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. You're gonna be attacked, betrayed, exposed, and humiliated. And you'll survive that. A lot of people can climb that mountain. It's the way down that breaks them. Because that's the moment when you are truly alone. And what will you do then? Can you summon the will to fight on through all the pain and rise again? That will be the defining question of your life. And I think you already know the answer. And that's why we're all here. A shoe is just a shoe. Until somebody steps into it. Then it has meaning. The rest of us just want a chance to touch that greatness. And we need you in these shoes, not so you have meaning in your life, but so that we have meaning in ours. Everyone will be forgotten as soon as our time here is up. Except for you. You're gonna be remembered forever. Because some things are eternal. And your story is gonna make us fight and never give up.
All right. I think we're on. Or should be good. I was having an issue with my mic, but can you hear me, Adam? I can't hear you. You might be muted.
Oh, there we go. I am muted.
There you
go. All right, your camera was the only thing that was bad. Well, your camera's still kind of like super fuzzy for me, but
is it?
Yeah.
I don't like that. All right, let me see how it is on the preview.
As long as it's good for the people watching, who cares?
Yeah, it looks like on the preview it's all right. But yeah, if we have any issues, we'll try to fix that when we switch over to Rumble only, which we happen to do every stream. Try to give Rumble a little extra. You got to give credit to Rumble. I mean, I don't know if you guys are paying attention to it all, but they just arrested, or they're trying to arrest at least, the guy who owns Telegram for essentially just allowing free speech. Rumble, they had Dunkin' Donuts and a bunch of other companies say they're boycotting Rumble, don't want anything to do with them. And Rumble has not backed down once. They've been with it the entire time. So we try to give a little extra to Rumble when we can, because they're literally putting their reputations on the line. So I feel like we got to at least give them a little bit of an acknowledgement. But yeah, we are live right now on Rumble, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and X. I know last time I said we would think about using Odyssey because a couple of people suggested it, but I didn't get around to it. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we got a couple things to talk about. We're gonna dip into some pop culture news as well, because we got a lot to talk about in the gaming arena. Adam has some things, and I got a few things as well, because I feel like that's equally as important to what's going on. Trump's being indicted again. We have.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah, it's always a good time. We haven't had one of those for a while. It's been a while. This is number 5 or number 6. I lost track. We got Democrats endorsing Trump, possibly more, according to RFK. We got a couple other random stories. Trump was on, I forget his name, Sean Ryan's podcast, and actually admitted to messing up in one area, which it's very rare for Trump to say, hey, I screwed up somewhere. I love Trump, but he say he has one hell of an ego would be a understatement.
That's true.
Yeah. There's a clip from a mom whose daughter was raped and murdered by an illegal immigrant, which, according to Harris, we shouldn't be calling them illegal immigrants, even though that's literally what they are by definition.
Yeah, but that's mean.
Yeah,
We don't
you're
like
being mean. I don't know. I think raping and murdering someone's a little meaner than that, but I don't know.
Nah.
Yeah, call me old fashioned.
Nah. This is a new era. Rape and all that other stuff. That's cool. Yeah. Well, as long as you're
according to Harris, at least
an undocumented immigrant.
Undocumented. That's the word. And yeah, we got a couple other clips from the border, a couple other things about. We're not going to go over the DNC much. Me and Bix reacted to Kamala's speech. If you guys want to watch that, it was horrid. So I just at least cracking a brew or two because it's hefty to get through that speech. But yeah, we got a couple other things. We'll go right to this. What's going on, Robert? How you doing?
Oh, this is the dumbest thing I think I've seen today.
Jack Smith indicts Trump again in D.C. following SCOTUS presidential immunity ruling. So as we know that the Supreme Court ruled for presidential immunity, and that wasn't the only thing. There was a lot of holes in Jack Smith's case. The Florida judge, which I'm blanking out on her name, which was the head of it, was constantly scolding Jack Smith, saying, he didn't go through the proper legislation approval to even oversee a case like this. He had no right. And him and his team were just very unprofessional. They didn't have their shit together, to put it mildly. And the judge, you guys could go back and read some of her rulings because she rips him apart. This crazy druggy alcoholic looking dude. He's trying to indict Trump on the same exact charges, to sum it up. That Trump, incited an insurrection, or if he asked Chuck Schumer, an erection. And it was already turned down, I guess, because killing Trump didn't work out, that they gotta.
Well, yeah. When you fail a assassination attempt, you're like, well, I guess we got to do it the legal way then.
Yeah. It's like, all right, let's try to take him off the ballot. That didn't work. Okay, let's try to throw him in jail. That didn't work. All right, let's try killing him. All right, that didn't work. Let's go back to the indictments again. Literally the same exact one. It's pretty fresh. There's not much information, but I at least thought we should mention it, that they're not giving up. So if you guys thought this was going to be some kind of a cakewalk, that you've seen it all, we're just getting started. We still have what is it, 69 days till election,
something like that.
Yeah, we're gonna see a lot worse. Hopefully not another assassination attempt, but if you ask Alex Jones, he's very keen on it. It's going to happen again.
Well, I mean, there was that one threat that happened.
There was a threat.
Was it when he went back to Pennsylvania or whatever? But I mean,
Arizona,
that's when it was.
Yeah, when he
was like on the tarmac, I forget what he was doing exactly. It was some sort of interview, and he's like, "Hey, they don't want me to be here right now."
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, Trump's running away from the interview." I'm like, you can say a lot about Trump, but running away from interviews is not something that he does.
Yeah.
Doing good, Robert. Doing good, man. Just chilling, man. Now they're trying to force RFK to stay on the Michigan and Wisconsin. Yeah, I saw that. He's trying to pull his name off the ballot, RFK, and they're not letting him because they want to try to, favor Kamala a little bit, which they had no problem removing Joe Biden from the ballots when Joe Biden wanted to drop out. Now RFK is like, all right, I'm dropping out. Take my name off the list. And they're like, nah, you're going to stay on. But I don't know if that's going to help, or I don't know if that's going to help or hurt Trump. It's most likely going to help Trump. Actually, that's kind of a good segue to this clip real quick. RFK kind of talks about that, about his, where his followers are going to go now that he endorsed Trump. He's on with Dr. Phil, that has his own channel now, I guess. Why not? Everyone has their own streaming service.
Yeah, when are we gonna do ours?
We got to get one too.
I'll charge people 50 cents to our donkey show.
That's a fair price, honestly.
I think so. I think it's good.
But this is RFK talking about pretty much what you were just mentioning about where his followers are going to go.
You crafted a trail in your press conference. You're staying on the ballot in the red and blue states. In the swing states, people have said that this could come down to 15 counties in 11 different states, 11 of those counties in 7 states, including where we are right now, that you said you don't want to be on the ballots there. You don't want people to vote for you there. Do you think you can be the determining factor in this presidential election because of the positioning? Of course, if they don't get to 270, if they tie at 269, whole different ball game. But if this comes down to independents in those 15 counties in those 11 states, and you've given your support to the Trump candidacy, do you feel like you may very well be the one that selects the next president of the United States by your influence?
Well, that's possible, but I would have, if I had stayed on the ballot in the swing states. And what I've done, Phil, is we're taking my name off the ballots in 10 states that are swing states. We're leaving them my name on in the red states and the blue states, so people can vote for me without consequence. They're not going to be scared. Oh, the bad guy's going to get elected. Who's going to get elected in those states. So it allows people to vote for me who want to vote for me without any consequence. But what we recognize from our polling is that if I stayed in the race, it would have almost certainly swung the race to Vice President Harris, who was trying to throw me off the ballot in all of the states.
That's true.
Ironically, but I thought that would not be a good outcome for her, because I differ with her on all the issues, on the issues of war, on the issues of censorship, on the issues of chronic disease, and many, many other issues. I did not want to give the election. I didn't think it would be right to give the election to her. And our polling from the beginning showed pretty consistently that if I got out of the race, 57% of the people who were supporting me would vote for Trump. And so me staying in the race would have swung the race, very likely could have swung the race to Harris. And so just getting out of the race, I think, makes it a fair race between them. And then
you're double digits in some of these swing states.
Yeah, I am.
And the 57% of those people go to former President Trump. That's a real boost to him. That's a real boon to him.
It is. I think our decision, or my decision about what to do, I think it's much more likely that President Trump will get elected.
So you do acknowledge that?
Yes.
And you have enough that you agree with him on priority-wise that you're more comfortable with that than.
All right, we got it. It's a fairly long clip, but we
but basically what it comes down to is like RFK is basically saying like, hey, oh, by the way, I feel bad every time he talks.
I know. It's like, I'm not trying to be mean, but
it's like, dude, it's okay, dude. You don't have to talk as much. Why do they keep giving him these long ass interviews? I feel so bad for him. I really do. It's like, and it's not one of those things. Like, I even felt bad for, and people are like, "Oh, you're just saying that because he's one of your guys." Dude, I felt bad when Biden was speaking. I was just like, dude,
nothing compares to that.
Like, I realize he did a lot of effed up stuff in Ukraine and did a bunch of terrible deals, but I mean, like, he's probably forgotten he's done all of that now. Like, geez, give him an ice cream cone and sit him outside with a blankie on a rocking chair. Like, the dude is done.
F out of here, man.
Like, he is, like, he's doddering around, and I just felt bad. And I feel the same for RFK, because I don't know exactly what's wrong with his voice or anything like that. I don't know.
It was a vaccine injury.
Okay.
I heard, from when he was a kid,
and so
or maybe not a kid, but he was young.
Yeah, when he was younger. So like, I'm just like, dude, you can stop talking. I understand what you're trying to get at.
I mean, it makes sense that he's so against the vaccines and crap like that.
Yeah, I find that funny that they're like, oh, he's an anti-vaxxer and he's this and that. And it's like,
Well,
it's like,
I mean, can you
it's
blame
like,
him?
I think he had a personal experience as to why he's anti that. So I'll give him a pass on that one.
Yeah. But let me go real quick into just while we're on the RFK topic because I have it saved here. If you guys didn't see the intro yet, this is when Trump brings out RFK Jr. To the Foo Fighters song, which they paid the rights, so you can actually buy licensing for songs.
Yes.
Sometimes it's just like $100 or $200, but you could do it and do whatever the hell you want with the song, which the Trump team did. So any whining and bitching from the Foo Fighters is just because they're whiny bitches. It doesn't really mean anything. But they the point is that it was a really epic intro, and I'll go through it real quick.
For so long, for the past 16 months, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
So we'll go back a little bit.
Pleased to you get right down to it, right? In our movement, we know that democracy does not mean rule by the Democrat establishment. It means rule by the American people. Tonight, I'm very pleased to welcome a man who has been an incredible champion for so many of these values that we all share, and we've shared them for a long time. I don't think too many of you people have heard of him. He's very low-key. He's a very low-key person, but he's highly respected. He is a great person. I've known him for so long. For the past 16 months, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Huge crowd, too.
Holy crap, what is this? The fucking WWE?
Well, Trump had a hand in that. Yeah.
That's true. He's like, Trump's like, man, I miss the fireworks. I need them.
Brings me back.
Man, whoa. And he deserves it. He deserves it.
I will say this: Trump is one, when he flatters someone, he freaking flatters them.
Oh, he knows how to do it. That's right.
For the past 16 months, Bobby has run an extraordinary campaign for President of the United States. I know, because he also went after me a couple of times. I didn't like it. And I mean this sincerely. Had he been allowed to enter the Democrat primary, he would have easily beaten Joe Biden, but they wouldn't let him in.
They rigged the primary.
They put up rules. I've never seen rules like he had to have 65% of the vote in order to run, you know, little things like that. His candidacy has inspired millions and millions of Americans, raised critical issues that have been too long ignored in this country, and brought together people from across the political spectrum in a positive campaign grounded in the American values of his father, Robert Kennedy, a great man, and his uncle, President John F. Kennedy. And I know that they are looking down right now, and they are very, very proud of Bobby. I'm proud of Bobby. You want to know the truth?
Like you said, he flatters him.
And I don't think I've ever introduced anyone that got applause like he just got. I must tell you, I don't think it's true. I don't think I've ever introduced anybody that got applause like that.
I think we can hear a little bit of him speak before we go on.
Thank you. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you. You know, a few hours after the assassination attempt at Butler, I got a call from a safe food advocate named Kelly Means, who's been fighting for many years to try to end the corruption at CDC and FDA and USDA. And these institutions, these regulatory agencies are actually run by the big food processing companies, the big ag and the chemical companies that they're supposed to regulate. And he said to me that he'd been advising me for many years and on my campaign. And he told me that night that he was also advising President Trump. And he asked if I would talk to President Trump. And I said, of course. And about a few minutes later, I got a call from the president. And we talked. We had a very good talk.
This was the conversation that was spoiled, remember?
Yeah, I don't know, it was somebody that knew RFK or was family member.
I think it was his son.
A couple of weeks later in
That
Florida.
might have been it, right? Yeah, I think you're right.
And we talked about, not about the things that separate us because we don't agree on everything, but on the values and the issues that bind us together. And one of the issues that he talked about was having safe food and ending the chronic disease epidemic.
That's actually,
our children are now
I
the
think that's fairly important
unhealthiest,
to bring
sickest
up.
children in the world.
Yep.
Don't you want healthy children? And don't you want the chemicals out of our food?
What? No, I thought we were supposed to abort our children
And don't you
before they
want
come
the
out.
regulatory agencies to be
Isn't that the
free
thing?
from corporate corruption?
I mean, everybody's so upset we can't abort anymore. Isn't that a top issue?
Apparently.
And that's what President Trump told me that he wanted. He also told me.
All right, so I mean, it goes on. We got it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's kind of what they're. I don't know if you guys seen the hashtag. It's hashtag MAGA and hashtag MAHA. I guess it would be Make America Healthy Again.
Yes.
RFK running on. I mean, that's huge. If you guys didn't hear about it earlier, Trump's going to put RFK on his cabinet and his transition team. RFK is going to have some kind of input on who Trump's going to hire and who he's not going to hire, which is huge.
Right.
And one of the things they're going to do a assassination kind of council type investigation to look into pretty much past presidents, obviously Trump and all that, just the corruption within the CIA and FBI. And apparently that's what RFK is going to do on top of really looking into our food, all the chemicals and crap. I saw this picture one time, which is pretty wild. It was like from I want to say 50, maybe 1950s of I don't know what boardwalk. It might have been Atlantic City or something. But it was like a shot of everybody on there, and the one thing you noticed was there wasn't any obese people. Like obesity just was not a thing. Yep. And now it's just so like it's just everybody's daily life, and that's kind of like what we're thinking with like this fast food, all the chemicals they put in, our drinks and everything. So I think that's a very important platform to work on, which is kind of rare for a president.
Well, it's pretty bad when like you see beers and alcoholic drinks with less processing chemicals in them than like a majority of sodas.
Yeah.
like think about it. Like my Corona that I'm drinking right now has less processing stuff in it than most
soda.
Than like a Sprite or a ginger ale, for God's sake.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And those are supposed to be one of the more healthy sodas, and I put that in extreme air quotes.
Yeah. But yeah, it's wild, and that's like what he's going on, and I think that's going to be a huge part on a reason to vote for Trump, to get him and RFK in there figuring out what the hell is going on with our food and the chemicals and our vaccines. Why do we, like RFK just said, why do we have the sickest children in the entire world? Why are they, getting cancers at such a young age and all this stuff and forced vaccinations? Like, big pharma and big government don't care if we're healthy or not. They want to make a buck. They do whatever they can. Take your pill, shut up. So it's good to get to the bottom of that. Like, what the hell is going on with us? What is happening? Why are people having cancer at such a young age and all this?
And I
stuff?
also find it funny too when they say like, "Oh, you're an anti-vaxxer," if you even question something, because like this was something that was always taught to me, and that's because so I grew up in, obviously you know this, in a very Christian household, but my mom always taught us the what's it called, the Berean way or something like that. I think it's called the Bereans in the Bible, where like they were taught to basically question everything, and it's one of those
Okay,
things
I know what
that
you're talking
is
about, yeah.
it's encouraged to question everything. Like you're supposed to question the Bible. You're supposed to get to the bottom of it so that you know why you believe what you believe.
Yeah.
And I wish, anyways, not I think, I wish that sort of logical premise was applied to everything in our daily lives, in everyday life, because like, why can't we question certain things? Are you telling me it's that, is that the sacred cow that we can't, look at or whatever, that, oh man, why are you questioning a vaccine? I don't know, because I can.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about that? Like, maybe I can ask
That
a
was
few
so
questions as to why it's necessary.
yeah, that
And
was so absurd to me,
I
yeah.
need maybe you need to be a little more honest with me and tell me what's in it and what's in this and what's in that. Like, I find it very, very odd that of all the things that we're allowed to, like, they say, oh yeah, you should be critical of, Trump or this or that about, all these random things. But once we get into the things that start, making money or whatever, you can't question that. Why would you question COVID?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
That was like the most like absurd thing. I remember during the time where it was like, because that was like during 2020s when we started experiencing like all the censorship and everything for the first time, like on the scale that it is now. I mean, there's always been censorship, but like,
Right.
but it was like you can't even question the vaccine. I'm like, so we got this experimental jab, and that's what it was. It. The only reason that
It was highly experimental. I looked into the MNRNA.
NRA,
Yeah.
RNA.
And after looking into it for a while, I'm like, holy shit. I was like, this is not like, it was not an old style vaccine. Like it you know how like some of the older vaccines, what they did was they basically gave you a dead virus, put it into your system, and let your body adjust to it. These are like, they alter your DNA code. Like, like it is not the same thing, and it's just so criminal that you're not allowed to question something like that.
I remember they changed the definition, the vaccine. They in the Webster's dictionary they changed it because it didn't because everyone kept saying it's not a vaccine. They're like, by definition, it's not a vaccine. It's like, all right, well, we'll change the definition then. So now it is a vaccine, and it really only was a vaccine because it was pushed through emergency use, because we're under the I don't know if that's the right word for it, emergency use or whatever. So they were able to declare it a vaccine to get it into people. But I was like, I've never been anti-vax. I've gotten plenty of vaccines before, like as a kid and stuff. Maybe now I would, change my mind on that. I don't know if, but it is what it is. But it was like, I've gotten vaccines before, but this one, when they're saying it's experimental, when they're saying get it or you're fired from your job, get it or we'll deem you as some kind of domestic terrorist and stuff. That's when I started to be like, all right, what the hell is going on here? Something's effed up here. And that's why I think it's just so damn important to get Trump elected, to get RFK in there. I'm so glad he's part of his cabinet to figure out what the hell is going on. What are they not telling us? What else is out there? We might get into the other stuff in a little bit. There's some, the pro-life movements kind of calling a boycott to Trump right now. But I gotta say, single issue voters, you got to wake up, you got to break out of it a little bit. There's a lot more at stake. You're not always going to get everything you want. Life's about playing the cards you were dealt. And it sucks. Life's effed up. Life's dark. A lot of horrible shit happens every day. But you just got to make do with what you got. I wish it was perfect. I wish I could snap my fingers and get everything I want, but you can't. So I'll just consider that going this election on figuring out who you're going to vote for. Just because I surfing around on X right now, I do see a lot of, I'm not going to vote for Trump because he's not strong enough on this or he's not strong enough on that. Like,
I do love all the conservatives that this is the first time they're voting Democrat post. It's like,
okay,
it's like nobody believes you.
yeah,
Like,
nobody believes you.
like nobody believes that. You totally voted Democrat before. Like, there's no way. Like, come on.
Yeah, no, that's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of noise. I don't believe it at all. Now especially when it's a super far left ticket, it would be different if it was kind of like a middle of the road ticket and you saw some maybe old school Republicans and it's like, all right, I buy it. But there's no way you're voting for this super far left progressive ticket, the most far left ticket we've ever seen in this country.
Right.
Now, when you get people like, well, actually, that's kind of a good segue to the Tulsi Gabbard thing. When you get people like Tulsi Gabbard, who is endorsing Trump, who's going to be voting for him, she's a old school Democrat. She has some things that she clearly disagrees with conservatives on, but we do agree. Once upon a time, liberals believed in small government. Once upon a time, liberals believed in no wars. Once upon a time, liberals believed in free speech.
Crazy.
I still remember like being a kid and under George Bush seeing all these anti-war liberals and stuff, and now it's like they're all pro. Let's go to war with Ukraine. Let's go to Russia. Let's go to war with whoever else in the Middle East. It doesn't. I'm like, what?
You gotta bomb them kids. You gotta bomb them kids.
It happened with Obama. You know how much he liked droning people.
That was like a pastime for him.
Yeah, he was the drone strike president. He loved it. But this is Tulsi Gabbard. Well, he's going to bring her out in a second. We'll react after.
And today I'm honored to officially welcome another true American patriot, a 17-year veteran of the Hawaii Army National Guard, a 4-term Democrat congresswoman, very, very popular, the former vice chair of the National Democratic Party and a 2020 Democrat candidate for the United States presidency. She was a very good candidate. Every time she ran, she was good. She did well. She decided to leave. She couldn't take it anymore, but she is very special. And I didn't know this, but she was a lieutenant colonel. That's not bad. Lieutenant colonel.
That's not bad.
Not bad. I didn't know that. I just found out. I said, put it down. You got to put that down. That's bigger. That's better than all the other stuff I read. But no, she's a special person. She's got great common sense, great spirit. She loves our country, and she loves the people in this room. Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi, please.
Do we have that? Oh, here's the second clip.
I was about to say, just kind of cut off there.
Yeah, it did kind of cut off. Here we go.
To the brink of nuclear war than we ever have been before. This is one of the main reasons why I'm committed to doing all that I can to send President Trump back to the White House, where he can once again serve us as our commander-in-chief.
It's kind of like Rogue from X-Men.
It might be. I don't know.
Because I am confident
maybe she is Rogue from X-Men.
Will be to do the work to walk us back from the brink of war. We cannot be prosperous unless we are at peace. And we can't live free as long as we have a government that is retaliating against it to the brink of nuclear war than we ever have been.
Sure, I thought that was the longer clip. But yeah, we got former Democrats endorsing Trump, which should show you how crazy the left-wing ticket is. That's what I'm talking about. It's a left-wing, far progressive ticket that even people like RFK and Tulsi Gabbard are like, all right, I was a Democrat. They both ran as Democrats, and they're like, all right, I'm out. I can't do this. This is too far. And it should show you who the crazies are, who the extremists are when you have Democrats coming over for Donald Trump. And that's huge. That's a huge endorsement. What's going on, Scarlett? Good evening. Sorry I'm late. No worries. We're just getting started. We're going to head over to Rumble soon. I think we'll head over to Rumble in we could actually probably do that now. We're at the almost 40-minute mark.
Yep.
Yeah, we got a couple other things to go through.
Have some pop culture stuff to talk about.
Yeah, got some pop culture news. Got some stuff on some gaming. It's Adam hasn't seen it yet. You guys might have not seen it yet. There's a game out there that's there's a couple games actually to go over that are so woke you would think it was parody, but it's not. It's real. We got a couple other clips from Trump and some other things. So we'll get that going. It's gonna be fun. So guys, head over to Rumble. It's in the link. It's in the description below. The link. It's or on my pinned tweet if you're watching on X. And appreciate everybody watching on YouTube and Kick and Twitch. You guys want to like, subscribe, share, comment, goes a long way. If you guys want to follow us on social media, it is also linked in the description below. And we are going to do a quick break, and then we'll be popping over there on Rumble. So we see you guys in a bit.
Yep.
Appreciate you guys watching on the other platforms, and head over to Rumble. They're good. Rumble's good. So we'll see you guys over there.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If I give you one message to hold in your hearts today, it's this: never, ever give up. There'll be times in your life you'll want to quit, you'll want to go home. The more people tell you it's not possible, that it can't be done, the more you should be absolutely determined to prove them wrong. Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation. Relish the opportunity to be an outsider. Embrace that label. Being an outsider is fine. Embrace the label. Because it's the outsiders who change the world and who make a real and lasting difference. The more that a broken system tells you that you're wrong, the more certain you should be that you must keep pushing ahead. You must keep pushing forward.
this lion. He's the king of the jungle. Huge mane out there. He's so big. He's so hot. Now, the little lion cubs, they start messing with him. Biting his tail, biting his ears. He doesn't do anything. The lioness, she starts messing with him, coming over, making trouble. Still, nothing. Now, the other animals, they notice this, and they start to move in. The jackals, hyenas, they're barking at him, laughing at him. They nip his toes and eat the food that's in his domain. They do this, and they get closer and closer and bolder, till one day, that lion gets up and tears the shit out of everybody, runs like the wind, eats everything in his path. Because every once in a while, the lion has to show the jackals who he is.